Alright, this is going to be the final one in the set of Tillis Flame Black. And we've had some interesting games. That last one I definitely wish I could have back. Oh, excuse me. That was rough. I've been missing tactics all throughout this, so I think it's about time to have a series where I just solve like so many tactics it's nauseating. And basics. I don't know, maybe I should do a ton of Puzzle Rush. Let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think is the best way to get tactically sharp, besides just not being bad? But I have neglected studying tactics for so long because my rationale is I see kids all the time that are like between 1,200 and 1,600 and have like 2,800 and 3,000 tactics trainer ratings on chess.com. So I'm like, clearly if you're 1,200 and you have a 3,000 tactics rating, tactics must not be that important. So it's interesting. All right, we'll go with another Alekhine as we get a strong opponent here, 2,500. And we get an exchange variation. And we get what's recommended in my course. And now if d5, bishop f3, e5. And we go e5 here, bishop f3. If not, this is a line where we can backdoor. We waste a tempo to get the ideal Alekhine position. And if b5, knight a5, you get the c4 square when you take on f3. Our other knight's coming to f5 still. Got some pressure on d4. We're waiting for h3 to take on f3. We're still looking at c4. We're probably going to transition to hitting the e3 bishop at this point. And M. Tillis has foreseen this. Which one do I want to keep? I think I want to keep that one. Makes sense. All right, how are we going to handle this? Because this looks really scary. We got to figure out a way to get some play. Feel like that's pretty good. And there's definite problems here. Let's go here, so that way I've got some more threats and I'm watching key squares. Right. And I think this is the sneaky in-between move I was looking for. Because if c7, I have queen takes b6. Nice. With the idea of bishop f4. If king g1, rook takes d1, bishop e3. That's not good. I feel like I need to take, And then this has got to be the most critical part of the game here. And got exceptionally lucky again in time trouble. I will say that I'm definitely tricky, but we'll see, because I feel like I outplayed my opponent in the opening, and then something went wrong. I handled the pawns pushing at me the wrong way. So okay, we get an exchange variation. And definitely the more solid way to go is with E takes D, like Grandmaster Bortnick, the top Alekhine player, the way he plays. But I have a habit, especially in 3 minutes, to play the more aggressive stuff because I think it provides more winning chances. And following right along where you can see black scores better than white in this position. And the plans came together quite cleanly. Takes, knight c4, and queen h4. Add just a wee bit more pressure, and what can he do? Knight e2 to hold on, but then takes here, bishop h6, and it's just getting harder and harder to breathe. You can't defend it anymore. So I did flub up the position, and that's probably something that's in the direct course. And because it's moved 20, I just don't recall. And that's a big misnomer. People are like, well, you know, you wrote a book on this. You should know it. Yeah, I wrote the book, what, 2018, 2019? So I didn't study my own book. I just wrote it. Takes, bishop h6. And this is actually better for white. So I think the rule was I needed to take with the other knight generally. And handled it right so far. But here's the key moment. Okay, rook a8 I found, but queen a4. Because if takes, c6, takes, rook a6. Definitely not something that you can calculate very easily or quickly. But okay, let's see how close I was with my defense, because it is a scary position. Takes, queen b5, same sort of ideas that I can take with check. Now you have rook c4, the game is over. And something to f2. Rook b4 is definitely not something I would consider. I would expect something like c7, but after rook c8, d6 doesn't do anything, as we can simply take. So I had the ability to stop it. And I was pleased with this position, but then couldn't come up with a plan with 50 seconds. And this is the type of position you really need to think in. So I went for what I saw is best, but I need to go rook d2 first to cut off the queen, and then go here. And this should be winning. What did I do that? Rook c2 with the idea. Yeah. Knight takes f2, completely winning. And bishop f4. It's much better, but I was worried about e5 because I didn't want the bishop covering, but you need this bishop to cover the squares. So e5 should lose immediately, which it does. And my opponent was nice enough to give me complete chances after bishop f4. This is, I've got 19 seconds. You have an extra piece in a minute 20. sometimes crap happens. Definitely was a one-sided game, and results were anybody's. So playing against a 2500, always a good player. It's much harder doing commentary when playing against players that are in my cast, so to speak. But hopefully you found this game interesting, and this series interesting. A couple Alekhine games for you that should please the people who already have my Alekhine course. I do what I can.